So, guys, I'm on YouTube right now and I want to show you something. If I search up how to scale a coaching business, I am going to see hundreds and probably thousands of people doing the exact same thing I do, helping coaching businesses scale, helping them make more money as a coach. You can see guys basically going into the specific thing that I do for other people, how to scale a coaching business, how to do this. People that have been doing this for like even over 3 years, like women, guys, girls, whatever. Loads of guys doing the exact same thing that I teach. So how come I was able to make $80,000 in a super competitive market going after the same people that everyone goes after? Because the common advice that people give to you is they say, hey, don't go after a competitive niche. Go into a niche where there's not that many people in. Go into like a blue ocean where there's no competition and you're going to thrive and you're just going to do really well. But what if I told you that you can still make a shit ton of money in a super competitive niche? Because these niches have one thing that if you do correctly and you actually do it to the T of the way I'm going to show it to you, you can make a tremendous amount of money without having to branch into the unknown and try to do something new. Because trust me, you actually want a competitive niche. Like I just showed you, there's hundreds of other coaches that do exactly what I do. But how come I was able to make $80,000 in a single month? On this processor, it shows around $60,000. And then on my other processors where I got bank transfers and I got payments on WAP, it was around $80,000 that I did last month. So how did I do this in just 4 months of starting a coaching offer in a niche where there's hundreds of people doing the exact same thing I do? So as you can see over here, this is a brand new red ocean where there's loads of guys doing the exact same thing, helping coaches skills. Guys that are making $1 million a month. I know guys that make $5 million a month. Guys that are doing 500K a month, 250K a month. Loads of people making so much money in this red ocean. By common knowledge, everyone will tell you, do not go after these people. Do not go into this market. You are going to get eaten alive by all of the sharks. So that's why they tell you to go into a blue ocean, because there's not that many sharks in there. They're going to cause you that much stress. So as you can see, the blue ocean is quite clean. It's quite peaceful. It's not got as much sharks as you can see over here. And this is what most people would recommend. But what people fail to address is, even though an ocean is red and there's blood and there's loads of sharks swimming in there, that indicates that there is a lot of money in circulation. The bloodier the ocean, the more money there is to actually be made. What do I mean by this? It means because there's so many people making so much money in there, that just means there is so many people buying products, buying services within this actual red ocean. Because if you were to venture out into a blue ocean that's potentially unknown, that doesn't really have that many people in there, you're kind of just, I guess, guessing if it's going to work. But here you don't have to guess. You just have to do a strategy that can actually work to make you the money that you want to make. So total money flowing in this market, I genuinely think it's probably multiple 9 figures that are in this market going over, because there's guys doing 8 figures and there's loads of those people. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this many people in this entire space. So if your goal is to build a high profit consulting business, you honestly need a small percentage of that pie. It's probably less than 1%. You could honestly be making a decent amount of money with 0.1% or 0.2%, 0.3%, 0.5% in this actual space, because you are not trying to compete with every single person. If you want to make millions and millions of dollars a month, cool. But if you want to build a high profit consulting business where you can actually make 250,000, 500K a year, $1 million a year consistently, and it actually goes into your bank account, profit. I'm not just talking about revenue, profit. Then you don't need to compete with every single person in this red ocean. You just need to find one small sliver, do one small strategy, and then you're going to be making the amount of money that you want to make. So I'm going to explain why these red oceans work. So in this red ocean, you might think to yourself, okay, cool. Because it's a red ocean, I'm just going to have to compete with the guys making $1 million a month. That's not true. Because in red oceans, what you fail to realize is, because the size is so big, there are small ponds and lakes that actually exist inside these red oceans. So as you can see over here, there's little pockets, and I like to call these pockets micro niches, which I'll explain a little bit later, because that's what made me majority of all my money, because I only have 12,000 followers on Instagram and I was still able to make $80,000 in a single month. I only have like 2,000 here. So it's a lot of money for a very small audience of like around 15,000 people. So micro niching is what I like to call these. So they're like these tiny little micro niches. They're like ponds and lakes that exist inside red oceans that don't have sharks swimming in there, because to them it's too small for them to be able to do that. They've outgrown those ponds. So what they're doing is they're just moving around here. They're just moving around in these big areas where they're just trying to eat up the market share. They're avoiding these ponds because they don't really need to be there. So this is where we need to be, because this validates that the ocean has a lot of money and there's a lot of fish in there. So we just want to go in there. So there's two types of, I guess, small niches that you can kind of like talk about. There's ponds, which I like to call vertical positioning, which I'll explain a little bit what that means later, and then lakes, which I like to call category niching. So what this means in English is vertical positioning is going after a specific mechanism of how you do certain things, and then lake category niching is going after a specific type of person. Okay, so this is where we can go from vertical to a vertical of a specific type of person. So what that means is that we can go even deeper into the niche of helping someone that is a specific type of person with a specific type of method, and that puts us in our own little pond where there's no one else to compete with us with, and we can actually eat up all the market share and make all the type of money. For example, if I say I help fitness coaches scale with paid ads, I am going after the market of the big ocean of coaches, but I'm niching down into fitness coaches. And then what I'm doing is I'm now going over the vertical positioning of saying I'm helping them with paid ads specifically. Now that puts me in a complete tiny different bracket of people. And suddenly there's not as many sharks swimming in that because they can't afford to niche down to those types of people because it's just too small for them. They want to be able to eat up the market share. But if we're just trying to make $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month, we don't need to worry about those guys. So there's another thing. We can even go down into helping fitness coaches scale with webinars. We can even go down into helping fitness coaches scale with challenge funnels. And this is always going to get you specific types of people that have specific types of problems that only you can solve because you have the results and the case studies to be able to do this. And I'm going to show you how you can actually start to niche into these niches and guarantee that you actually will make money because there's just so much money out there flowing. So if you genuinely stick with it, it's going to work with you. So these are the tiny pockets that honestly there's no competition because you're helping a specific type of person with a specific type of method, and they can do the same for any other niche. Let's say you were in a niche where you were helping, I don't know, people with relationships. Let's say you're a dating coach. You can say that, hey, I'm a dating coach that's going to help loads of people, just general knowledge, and you're going to be competing with the dating coaches that are charging people loads of money, that have loads of case studies, and you're just going to be left out trying to struggle to yourself, trying to figure out like, how am I not making any sort of money? But if you went after people, let's say middle-aged men, or you helped after people who are, let's say, specific, I'm not saying you should do this, or they work like a specific job, or maybe they look like a specific type of person, and you're only going after them because you have the best results and you're like a case study of that type of person, then you're becoming one of one. Now you're competing with maybe going over like 1,000 people to now, let's say 5 people or 10 people or 3 people, even 2 people sometimes. And these are niches where there's loads of money flowing around, so you can make a shit ton of money in there. So let me give you an example. This is a guy that I know. His name is Will Nelson, and from what I've seen, he does around 200K a month. And he goes after fitness coaches. Well, he doesn't say he goes after fitness coaches, but majority of his clients are fitness coaches. And he does 200K a month helping these types of people. So he's going after this whole, he's in a tiny pocket, guys, by the way, like a tiny pocket of this entire red ocean. And he's still doing $200,000 a month because he's helping a specific type of person in a specific type of way with paid ads. And what's happening is he's getting the best results with it because there's practically no competition, and he's just going after only specific types of people. And I did the exact same thing when I first started out. Instead of me going after people who were going into like bigger niches, like helping coaches scale, and I was just super general about it, I went back to what I knew the best. I helped operators before and I helped coaches. And I wanted to help people scale their businesses with paid ads because that's what I had the most results on. And that's what I was doing majority from my agency before I transitioned into a consulting business. If you want to know why I transitioned into a consulting business and how I did it and how I was able to actually make $75,000 in a month, there's another video that I'm going to link down below that explains exactly what I did, every single thing step by step to be able to get to the point where I am making the 75K a month. So if you want to check that out, there's going to be a link down below to watch that. I had zero competition when I first started out because I basically got the best results because I could charge more. Before this, when I was trying to go general and I was just trying to help everyone, I just kept getting objection of like, yeah, this person does the exact same thing that you do. I've seen other people do this thing. I don't know if you're the best because like, you know, like other guys are doing this exact same thing. And I couldn't figure out why. And I just thought maybe I just have to get better. But no, I was just competing with the wrong people at the wrong time. And what I was doing is when I was getting these results of people specifically help getting good results with paid ads, I was showcasing all down my story. And then what happened is there was no one that was able to compete with me because I understood that I just need to micro niche. And you don't have to be in a niche where you have zero competition, by the way, like where I was before. You can be in a niche where honestly there's maybe 3 or 5 or 7 big guys in this space. You will still make money just because people would only want to speak to you about certain things, and people honestly might even know what those other guys do anyways. So there's loads of money for you to be able to actually make in this. So how do you actually find your micro niche? Because this is the big money thing, because I want you guys to be able to actually implement this for yourself so you don't have to worry about getting eaten alive by these sharks that are just swimming out there in these massive niches. You want to establish who you want to help. So you want to establish the broad type of person. Who is that type of person? Is it 9 to 5ers? Is it coaches? Is it women who want to lose weight? Is it business owners that want to help get better with mindset, whatever? Like there's loads of guys that want to do that stuff. Once you figure that out, you want to go down a step below and try to niche to a specific type of person in that group of people. Who can you help the most? So now let's say, for example, I want to help coaches. Do I want to go after fitness coaches? Do I want to go after trading coaches? Do I want to go after people who work 9 to 5s? Do I want to go after people who are just like service-based business owners? I want to be niche, but you don't want to be too niche. Like I'm not talking about like going after their race or something like that. I just help black coaches. That's crazy. I mean, there's probably some people that do that, but I wouldn't want you guys to do that because that's crazy. Okay, so get into a specific type of niche of a person, and then once you've gotten that, get into your unique mechanism of how you can actually help them. How do you achieve the result? Do you do it with cardio? Do you do it with kettlebells? I've seen guys that coach people how to get into shape with kettlebells, and they make thousands of dollars every single month. Do you do that by running advertisements? Do you have a specific trading strategy that you teach to your clients? Do you help specific people who work corporate jobs transition using a specific trading strategy? When you do this, you become one of one, guys. And there's so many people that just don't have the time and effort to do this, and they're just competing with every single person. That when you do this, you'd be so surprised how far ahead you will be ahead of people, because no one actually spends the time to just sit down and go after a specific type of niche. So the more specific you go from being one of 1,000 other people to one of one, to one of 5, to one of 10, to one of 7, to one of 3, and then boom, your chances of making money is tremendously higher. And I've done this for so many people. And then once you have your micro niche and your micro unique mechanism, you can use that to dominate your specific section of this massive red ocean that is flooded with thousands and thousands of dollars every single day. That's how you make a shit ton of money with a tiny niche. Okay, guys? And then once you've done this, you've made all your money with your small ponds, because I'm getting to the stage where the pond has got to the point where I've been making a decent amount of money. I want to transition into more of a lake. A lake is where you're going into more categories of specific types of people. And once you've exhausted the mechanism, how can you help a specific type of person? What you want to do after this is you want to start expanding upwards. And this is typically how most people make the money. They start off in a micro niche. They go after a specific type of mechanism. They go after a specific type of niche. And then after they've done the specific type of mechanism, maybe they're helping people with paid ads. Let's say, for example, the fitness coach example, you're helping fitness coaches with paid ads. Once you've done that really well, you can then just go upstream and just help people in general. So after doing paid ads, what I did is when I first started the offer, I was selling paid ads coaching for like, $5 grand, $6 grand, 3 months of coaching, 6 months of coaching. It really depends on the person. After I did that and I got really good at that, I could say, hey, I want to help more people. And then that allowed me to start charging more, because I was able to charge high prices because I was doing more things for the general type of persona I was trying to help. So that's how you transition. I obviously still saw those things. And if you guys obviously still want to learn how to do these things, like I said, I think the best thing to do is just watch that video down below that explains exactly how I do these things. If you're just tired of, watching videos, or you just want to work with someone, there's also going to be a link down below. There's only 5 minutes, explains what I do. But once you've done that whole micro thing, then you can go full market. So then full market is ditching the entire thing of specifically going after a niche and just saying the entire group of people. So once you've got all the fitness coaches results, once you've got all the traders results, once you've got all the corporate 9 to 5ers results, why not just go after every single person that works a job? Why not just go after every single person that is a coach? Why not just go after every single person that's a service-based business? Because you have the results and the case studies to back it up. And then what happens is now you go full market, and this way you can make a shit ton of money, like crazy money. And then after you've done that, this is like the next step, which is like you get to the point where you've dominated the entire market, and then you have to even invent your own new categories and stuff. But most people that get to that point, you're making millions and millions of dollars a month, and you're probably not watching my YouTube videos at that point. But anyways, for the people who want to do this stuff, the good thing about this is you can literally make 500K a month. So 50,000 to 500K a month just in here alone. And I've seen proof of this. I'm living proof that you can make this amount of money in a small niche. We're making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a month when I was running my agency, working with clients that had literally 6,000 subscribers, 8,000 people following them on Instagram. I've seen the craziest things happen if you have the niche strategy locked in. You can make 50 to 500K a month, maybe even mil a month in just a micro niche, or going after a micro niche with a specific mechanism. Okay, so if you are just trying to build honestly high profit, high 6-figure, 7-figure business, you honestly don't even really need to leave this category. Honestly, you can literally just chill here for as long as you really want. If you want to get to the point where you've got like you're making movies like Imam Gadi and you're doing all these types of things, then you can go to that level. But if you want to just get to this point, which is what I help people specifically do, then yeah, you can do that over here. And I'll show you like even more examples. So for example, guys like Prabs had this offer helping people with mobility. So he helps people who are older, people with like typically 30, 40, 50s, 60s, and he helps them basically unlock mobility and hip chops by basically teaching them like I guess like high kicks and stuff like that. And I don't know exactly how he markets it, whatever. Obviously, I do know the intricate details of it, but he goes after a specific type of person with a specific type of, I guess, mechanism, which is technically in the whole group of helping people with the overall fitness. And he's about to do $50,000 in a single month, literally helping people kick high, which is crazy. And as you can see over here, like he's been getting like insane results. Like, and if I show you how much he spent just to even achieve this in the whole first place, got another piff over here, and then he even sent his voice note, which is crazy.
Just got another one. That's fucking 26K, bro. What the fuck?
26K on the 15th of November. He's gonna end the month on 50. And kid this, guys. He spent $600 on paid ads, which is fucking crazy. $600, guys. If you know paid ads, if you know marketing, if you know these things, which I've been mastering for like 3.5 years alone, guys, you can make anything happen. And then the same thing with Preston. Preston has 1,800 followers. He was able to do $17,000 in a single month, going after a specific type of ICP. And there's guys above, they're doing even more. Like, what the hell? Like Enrico's doing like 100 G's with guys that don't even have like 50,000 followers. It's crazy. So micro niche, guys. Don't try to go after the entire market, because then you're just shooting yourself on the foot. Micro niche, using the exact same strategy that I showed you over here. If you guys want the link of this and stuff, you can just talk to me on Instagram. I can obviously send you all these things if you want more curiosity about this. Micro niche, do these things well, and you will make a shit ton of money. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Peace.